The phone vibrated against the mahogany nightstand, its screen casting a sickly blue glow across the room. I froze, my breath catching like a fishhook in my throat. It was 2:17 a.m., and the name flashing on the screen wasn't my wife's. It was hers, Lila. My fingers twitched, itching to silence the device, but the weight of Sarah's steady breathing beside me anchored me to the bed. Each buzz felt like a hammer strike, splintering the fragile peace of our home. I should have turned it off. I should have deleted the message. But I didn't. The air in our bedroom was heavy, laced with the faint scent of Sarah's lavender lotion and the lingering warmth of her body pressed against mine earlier that night. We'd made love, slow, tender, like we were stitching ourselves back together after months of fraying. Her hazel eyes had locked onto mine, searching, maybe sensing the cracks I'd been hiding. I'd kissed her forehead, whispering promises I wasn't sure I could keep. Now, as Lila's name pulsed on the screen, those promises curdled into lies. It started innocently enough, or so I told myself. Lila was the new graphic designer at the firm, her laugh bright and sharp like a blade through monotony. We'd bonded over late-night projects, trading sarcastic quips over coffee cups and deadlines. Sarah was busy, always busy. Her nursing shifts stretched into double hours, leaving our apartment quiet, too quiet. I didn't mean for it to happen. That's what I kept repeating in my head, a mantra to drown out the guilt. But guilt is a stubborn thing, clawing at the edges of every thought. The first red flag was the text Lila sent 3 months ago, after a team happy hour. "You looked good tonight, Tom. Too good." I'd laughed it off, blaming the whiskey, but I didn't delete it. I read it again the next morning, my thumb hovering over the reply button. Sarah was in the kitchen, humming as she brewed coffee, oblivious to the storm brewing in my chest. I typed, "You weren't so bad yourself," and hit send before I could think. That was the first thread unraveling. Weeks blurred into stolen moments, Lila's hand brushing mine during a meeting, her perfume lingering in the elevator, her late-night texts growing bolder. I told myself it was harmless. A flirtation, not a betrayal. Sarah deserved better, I knew that. But the thrill of Lila's attention was a drug, numbing the monotony of routine. I rationalized it. Sarah was distant, exhausted, her smiles rarer than they used to be. Didn't I deserve to feel alive? Now, staring at the phone, my heart thundered. The message preview glowed. "Miss you. Can we talk?" I slid out of bed, the hardwood cold against my bare feet, and crept to the bathroom. The mirror reflected a stranger, eyes shadowed, jaw tight, a man teetering on the edge of a cliff. I opened the text, my pulse a drumbeat. Lila's words spilled out. "I can't stop thinking about last week. When can I see you again?" Last week. The hotel. The memory burned, her lips on mine, the scratch of her nails, the reckless heat of it all. I'd told Sarah I was at a conference. The lie had slipped out so easily. I typed, "Not now. Sarah's here." My thumb hesitated, then pressed send. The reply came instantly. "You always say that. When are you going to choose?" Choose. The word sliced through me, exposing the truth I'd buried. I wasn't just flirting. I was drowning in a mistake, and Sarah was collateral damage. The next morning, Sarah was quiet, her movements mechanical as she poured cereal for our daughter, Emma. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and regret. "You okay?" I asked, my voice brittle. She nodded, but her eyes didn't meet mine. "Just tired," she said, stirring her coffee. The spoon clinked against the mug, a metronome of unease. Emma babbled about her school project, oblivious to the tension coiling between us. I wanted to confess, to spill every ugly truth, but fear clamped my jaw shut. What would I say? I betrayed you because I was lonely. The words tasted like ash. At work, Lila was waiting. Her desk was a chaos of sketches and sticky notes, but her smile was deliberate, piercing. "You didn't answer my last text," she said, leaning close, her voice low. The office buzzed around us, phones ringing, keyboards clacking, but her words were a spotlight. "I was busy." I lied, my throat dry. She tilted her head, studying me. "You're always busy, Tom. But you weren't too busy last week." Her tone was teasing, but her eyes were sharp, demanding. I felt like a trapped animal, cornered by my own choices. That night, Sarah was waiting up. The living room was dim, the TV muted, casting flickering shadows across her face. "We need to talk," she said, her voice steady but thin, like glass about to crack. My stomach dropped. "About what?" I asked, feigning calm. She held up my phone, the screen unlocked. My heart stopped. "You left it on the counter," she said. "Lila's been texting you. A lot." Her words were measured, but her hands trembled, betraying the storm inside her. "I can explain," I started, but the lie caught in my throat. Sarah's eyes, those hazel eyes I'd fallen in love with, were pools of hurt and fury. "Don't," she said. "I read them, Tom. All of them." The air turned to lead. I saw it then, the moment trust shattered. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just looked at me, and that was worse. "How long?" she asked. I wanted to lie, to minimize, but the truth clawed its way out. 3 months, I whispered. Her face crumpled, and I felt like a monster. The days that followed were a blur of silence and distance. Sarah slept in Emma's room, her absence in our bed a gaping wound. I tried to apologize, to explain, but every word felt hollow. Lila kept texting, her messages a mix of desperation and defiance. "I love you, Tom. We could be happy." I didn't reply. I couldn't. The thrill was gone, replaced by a crushing weight of shame. One night, I found Sarah in the kitchen, staring at a photo of us from our wedding day. Her fingers traced the frame, her expression unreadable. "I loved you most," she said, her voice barely audible. "More than anyone ever will." The past tense hit like a blade. She looked at me, and I saw it, the decision in her eyes. "I'm taking Emma," she said. "We're leaving." Panic surged, but her resolve was iron. "You broke us, Tom. You don't get to keep us." The door closed behind her, the sound final, like a guillotine. I stood in the empty apartment, the silence deafening. Lila's text stopped eventually, but the damage was done. I'd chased a fleeting spark and lost the only light that mattered. Sarah's words echoed, "I loved you most." And I knew, with a sickening certainty, that I'd never find that kind of love again.